what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Rudy Road to Glory here on NCAA 14. And of course, we gotta rock with that college football revamp in this one here, man. As depending on what happens in this episode, either this could be the last episode, or we could find ourselves in the college football playoff and keep ourselves alive for a little bit longer to extend that college career for Rudy Rudiger a little bit longer. But a lot of it depends on what we do here in this particular episode. But we're not off to a great start here. Josh Cat is going to get an interception or make a reception on us. But we do make the tackle quickly. So going to be an action-packed episode for sure. This is going to be the longest of the Rudy episodes of this entire series either way. So hopefully you guys are settled in. We're going to have a good one here, man. So make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. And I'm going to be honest, we are not off to a good start here as we're already down 3-0. But Rudy is going to stop Eric Ricks from getting into the end zone for now. As last play of the first quarter, Kentucky did have to settle for a field goal, by the way. They go back to Ricks on the ground, and he cuts it back on us. Thankfully, we had some help on the inside. But our offense has been a no-show so far. Goose eggs on the scoreboard so far, and it forces us to maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe we're feeling a little bit of pressure being a top 25 team at such a prestigious football school like Notre Dame is. And we're feeling it right now. We are not playing up to that standard that we typically have played up to so far this season, as we almost get this interception. Oh, I read him like a novel, and I dropped the pass, man. That's tough. Kentucky's going to get a field goal off of that, so we keep them out of the end zone yet again. But, you know, we're just not doing ourselves any favors at all, as we're already down 9-0. So, I mean, we're doing the best that we can to try to keep our team in this game. But eventually, this offense that we have no control over, they gotta do something, right? So, down 9-0, we give up yet another completion over the middle of the field. Josh Cassius gets another catch once again. But that's the last notable play that Rudy was involved in the first half. We now jump into the second half. We make a shoestring tackle on Eric Ricks there. I wasn't sure if we actually got this tackle or not, but you know, we saw our stats flashed up on the screen, so that tells me that, hey, maybe we actually did make the tackle. But then our defense makes a play. Let's go. Got a turnover, man, on Keenan Peoples, as Jaden Mickey is going to get the interception. That's the 20th turnover that we forced this season. But of course, you know, our offense can't do anything. They still haven't scored against Kentucky, who is on the verge of not going to a bowl game. They have not had a good time in SEC conference play at all. And yet here we are. We're just having all these struggles against them, at least on the offensive side of the ball, as you know, we might have opened up a hole in our zone coverage, allow Josh Cassius to get a little bit too open for our comfort. But we got to keep him out of the end zone, man. Already down by 9, and it looks like Ricks, he's going to break a tackle, and there he is. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. First touchdown that we've seen scored all day long. And it's going to be 15-0. And I would not be surprised at all if they end up going for the 2-point conversion. As now, dropping back the pass, looks over the middle of the field. He finds Derek Reynolds. And yeah, they're going to get this 2-point conversion as well. We're down 17-0 going into this final quarter. We haven't done anything offensively, and you know, we're still putting our heart out. That's the Rudy Rudiger way. We put our heart out there for these guys, but unfortunately it doesn't lead to a win in the win column. So just like that, losing to an unranked team, even if it is on the road, will probably put an end to our college football playoff hopes. But Rudy did put together a decent game though. 5 solos, 1 assisted tackle as well, and then we also had that pass deflection to go with it. So we'll try to bounce back as we do get to return home at the very least. We'll be taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes as we get some snow here in South Bend, Indiana. So that makes me a little bit nervous because weather can always be that great equalizer, right? That's something that we have to naturally worry about a little bit. But Iowa, they're a great running team. But if we can find a way to slow down this rushing attack, put some pressure on the passing game, I think we'd have a lot of success in this one. But Weeks is not, it's been easier said than done, because Rodney Weeks is him, man. He is closing in on 1,700 yards rushing on this season, and we still have a few games left to play in this one, right? As we try to undercut that pass. I thought we did a good job with it, but doesn't even trigger that interception animation for me. It's crazy. Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit shorter and maybe not the best athlete out there, but we're going to help out in bringing down Rodney Weeks in the backfield. Listen, if you're going to beat us, Rodney Weeks is not going to be that guy that is going to be beating us here today. As speaking of which, Weeks is out there on the perimeter. I'm one-on-one, but I do hold up as he doesn't break the tackle from me, and we do force him out of bounds. But we'll jump into the second quarter, though, and actually Iowa is going to get a safety. That's just how bad that it's been. Notre Dame offense has been giving as many points to the other team as they do for us. So that's where we're at right now. Last minute left to play. We do keep them out in the end zone at least. So it's just 8-3 here after a half of play as they try to throw over the left-hand side. And I thought that was going to be intercepted too. Just couldn't get that 1 foot in bounds. And look at that. We do find the end zone. After all, we are capable of scoring. Imagine that, right? So we have the lead again. It's 9-8. Looking like a borderline baseball score as Hall's trying to scramble out there. He gets away from him. Gave us a little bit of a shimmy. And, we weren't ready for Dante Hall to do some things. That's his biggest run today so far. So we'll see if we can focus back up as another running back gets the ball for Iowa. And it's going to be Sean Downs who is going to pick up the first down for Iowa. But Rudy is there to at least make the tackle. Leading into a 1st and 10. Trying to get to McCarthy. Another different running back. A lot of running backs getting carries here for the Iowa offense today. They really like to commit to that running game for sure. And unfortunately, we're going to get beat by this tight end here. Addison Ostrenga. I thought it had a little bit more depth than what I actually did, but when a tight end is 6'6" and we're not 6'6" at all, we're like 5'6", so we're giving up a whole foot. Plays like that are going to happen every once in a while. So Iowa is going to take the lead before we get into this final quarter of action. So here we are looking over to the right-hand side. Ostrenga wide but naked open on the last line of defense, and I will force him out of bounds. That's a 50-yard reception, though. And this tight end is really starting to become a problem. Down by 8. Got to keep him out in the end zone. Got to make this tackle, but we can't make the tackle on Kale Vanderbrush. And Iowa scores yet again. And I think I might be hearing that fat lady sing here as well. As we give up yet another touchdown. We're down 24-9. And this was certainly not a pretty game for us yet again. We lose by that same score as Iowa does end up running out the rest of the clock. And what's been a really good season for us so far, we're starting to fall apart here a little bit, to be honest with you guys. We end up losing multiple games consecutively for the first time in Rudy's college career, but at least it was another solid game. 8 tackles, 7 solo. And it takes us to the end of the regular season. No longer ranked, probably not even close to being ranked after we lose to 2 teams that honestly we probably should have beaten. And now we take on the Stanford team, which Stanford, they're just not far and away a team that is capable. I don't know what they're capable of doing, to be honest. They were in the college football playoff last year. That was something that did actually happen. They were the first sacrificial goat to Ohio State on the way to their national championship. I don't think Stanford will be back in the national championship, at least not in that college football playoff, given that they're 3-7. They're not even going bowling, so playing for nothing more than pride here at this point. So just got to be careful still, because we still have some things that we can play for. At least we can try to play for a better bowl game. But Fred Nicholson is actually going to get the scoring started here for Stanford. And we're down. We are down 7-0 here, unfortunately. It's going to be a tough look for our guys to to bounce back here a little bit. But we'll jump into the second quarter, though. We'll try to get the Peters as we actually get away from that tackle, but then we bring Pierre Peters to the ground with the help of a few other defenders, though, as it's been one of those games where Rudy has been pretty quiet. We actually don't hear from Rudy much in this particular game, but one major blunder that we had was that we were looking at those crossing routes on the inside, didn't even realize Travis Smart was right behind us, and that's going to lead to a touchdown for Stanford. We weren't on the field for that, but, you know, that touchdown, that particular one was certainly my fault, and it's a critical that, you know, we play almost flawless football, because again, our offense is just not helping us. We only got 10 points here, you know, like late in the fourth quarter. Hopefully this will be enough to get us back and, you know, help us take the lead, tie it, do something. And, you know, they do that. They do tie the game for us at 13 apiece, but we got to make sure that they don't get into field goal range. PJ Peters, though, gets away from us long enough, pick up that first down. And now I think Stanford, they might be in field goal range, actually. I'm not too terribly sure, but they're certainly in field goal range now with that Eric Almainer reception. What a time to get your first reception of the game, by the way. And so after that, they're actually just going to run out the rest of the clock before Pierre Peters, he's going to find his way into the end zone. And I think it might be over here, guys. 22 seconds left. It ain't looking good, boys. It ain't looking good at all, actually. And we lose again. This was a rivalry game for us, too. For us to lose to our rivals. We're on a 3-game losing streak, too. So just to end the regular season, the way we have been playing in the ending portion of the regular season, just isn't good. It's straight up not a good time at all. And unlike the other 2 games, Rudy played pretty terrible in this one. He only had a couple tackles in the game, but despite our slide, we do end up going to a bowl game. We're going to the Armed Forces Bowl. We'll take on Kansas out of the Big 12. Not the game that we wanted, but listen, there was some talk about us possibly going ahead and maybe we opt out of the bowl game because we were an All-American. Wasn't named to that All-American list this year because I did miss 4 games at the beginning of the season, but thought about the idea of just opting out of his bowl game so that we can prepare for the NFL draft. But, you know, Rudy's not that type of guy. He does not do that. He is going to play one more game for his boys. So, yeah, man, we're going to be here at the Armed Forces Bowl, trying to give it everything that we have. And it's not certified in stone that Rudy Rudiger could be an NFL player. Haven't seen, might be a late round draft pick, but it's going to be really interesting to see how he does. The last few games certainly have not helped him as much as they could have, but we're at least there to plug up that hole a little bit. Mark Jones does stiff arm us into the next dimension. That's part of the reason why Rudy might not be a certified NFL player, just because of the size. 5'6", 175 pounds. I mean, do you know any guys that are 5'6" and made it to the NFL somehow? You know, let alone like be in college football? You know, it's a very small list. I can tell you that much. But we will help get Ethan Vasco down on the ground, trying to scramble upfield. Was trying to do a lot of cute stuff in the pocket. But second quarter comes around. I think this could be our best ball quarter that we put together as Mark Jones. We just light that boy up in the backfield. Remember when you stiff armed us? Stiff arm that little boy. Let's go, baby. So now Mark Jones again going to take another carry, but we'll stop him from getting to that first down marker. We're making plays. We're flying all around this field, and that's how Rudy has to play. You know, he's not the most athletic. He doesn't have the physical tools that maybe you would expect from a college safety, but those instincts, you know, we can really make up for that with the instincts, and that's really on full display here at the Armed Forces Bowl as we're there to play that ball beautifully. Couldn't finish that play though. We dropped the interception ultimately as last play of the first half, at least notable first half plays. Almost get that ball out of Andrew Collins' hands, but we couldn't get the incompletion. But we're doing all right. We're up 7-3 here at the end of the half. We'll jump right into the second half of action, though, because Kansas actually does get the ball to start the second half, as they're actually going to go downfield looking for Collins, and I was trying to key in on a certain route, and we got bamboozled, we got flabbergasted, and most importantly, we gave up not only a touchdown, but we gave up the lead. And you know, with Rudy not having that speed, well, he was going to be gone like a girl in a country song before it was even, the ball was even in his hands. So we're down by a field, well, we were down by a field goal, but then our offense does respond by making sure that they get into the end zone back. So at least this time around, our offense was able to bail us out. But let's see if we can return the favor as they try to go downfield again, and Collins gets us a second time. Oh my goodness, Andrew Collins has just been dicing us up back there. He's making Ethan Vasco have a career day already with 200 yards, couple of touchdowns as well. Oh, we just, you hate to see it, man. And then like the little camera angle, maybe like do like a quick stop and go. We probably could have made that tackle if we didn't do that, but no excuses there. I should have been in a lot better of a position to make a play. But now we're down by a field goal here, and we will be jumping right into that final quarter of action. Could still go in either direction. We're going to try to get Vasco out of the end zone. We got to him, but Vasco drags us across the goal line, and Kansas is going to score yet again. 24-14 in favor of Kansas here in this Armed Forces Bowl. And we're down to the last 5 minutes. We got to get a safety of some sorts. And while we couldn't get him in the end zone, man, did we line up Mark Jones pretty good, though. He's going to feel that hit in the morning. But they're still deep in their own end zone. And a couple plays later, dreams do come true. We get the safety. Let's go, baby. One possession game. A chance for us to possibly tie this game, but of course our offense fumbles the bag. They do it yet again, so now we come back out once more, and we couldn't get the ball for them again, unfortunately. So Kansas is going to win the Armed Forces Bowl 24-16, and you know, this season had so much promise going into this episode, but yet here we are, and we're going to finish our college careers on a 4-game losing streak. Just not how I envisioned my college career ending. It's a tough pill to swallow, but at least we went out with a bang, at least individually. 10 tackles, a TFL, almost had an interception too. We at least played hard today. So even though we did end up missing the first 4 games of this season, we put together a pretty good campaign overall. Ended up getting 70 tackles, 5 TFLs, 7 assisted tackles as well. 3 pass deflections, and that's just me dropping the football 3 times. That could have been interceptions, but it wasn't meant to be. Didn't force any turnovers, and it wasn't as good of a season as I had in my junior year. Their stats are somewhere else, but you know, we still put together a good year, even though we did miss out on All-American honors. But it does look like it will not be enough for us to be drafted into the NFL, and you know, I wasn't surprised by this necessarily, because even though I did put up the stats, 5'6", that's just a hard sell for anybody to enter the professional ranks in. A couple of our teammates do get NFL consideration, 4 NFL guys on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, it just wasn't happening on the offensive side of the ball. That's why we ended up, the big reason why we lost our last 4 games in a row. Like, it was tough to watch, but guys, I hope you enjoyed this series, even though it's kind of ending on a sour note. Didn't win the bowl game. We didn't win our last 3 regular season games, but even though this was a shorter series, I definitely enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do Road to Glories in the future. It's been a while since, not only have I done a Road to Glory, but I think this is the first one that I've actually went about finishing. But I do have some things in the pipeline. I hope you guys are excited for it, and that's going to be coming down probably sometime when I get back from the 4th of July vacation activities. But guys, I'm so excited to get things going here, and I hope you guys are excited as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack this like button on this video so that I can get out to fellow college football fans like yourself. And then in addition, hit that subscribe button if you have to be brand new. And just love college football gaming too, as we're getting close to college football season. But with that, this is John Shea Gaming on the mic signing off. But hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.